Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 376, Juror number 2. My name is Joe.
My name is Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Hello, Joe.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. Oh, Juror number 2.
Juror number 2. I don't know what you thought of this movie, and I am very interested in hearing about it. Because I feel like this is the kind of movie that would normally just give you a giant boner.
Yeah.
You're very into legal thrillers.
I am.
Procedurals. You of course have your criminology degree and lupine criminology.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
It feels like there's some Law and Order DNA in this.
Definitely. At least the order portion of it.
Yeah.
For sure. A smattering of law.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I feel like the guy who played the public defender looks like he's been on Law and Order.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Or one of them, anyway.
Yeah, Chris Messina.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I most recognize him from. Was he on The Newsroom? He might have been. But yeah, he's one of those. I definitely recognize him from other things, probably a Law and Order here and there.
I mean, if he's New York based at all, then he's definitely been on a Law and Order.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, if not Original Recipe, then SVU.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, I do love a legal thriller.
Yeah.
And yes, there are procedural elements of this that I very much enjoy. But at the end of the day, it's really just an indictment of distracted driving. Which I fully support. Don't look at your phone while you're driving.
Yeah, it's hard to not get behind that.
Yeah. No, this movie's bananas. And I feel like total nonsense at times.
Sure.
I have serious problems with both the prosecution's case and the defense's case. And also the prosecution's new case that they're left with at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the law.
Yeah.
Other than, basic right and wrong, I guess. But like, technicalities of the law, I guess.
Yeah.
It feels like that's, it feels extra legal.
Which part?
The sort of pursuing a different person for the same crime?
I mean, it's not out of the question.
Okay.
It is weird to
at least
do it
after conviction.
Yeah. I mean, again, not out of the question, and they would have to, file to throw out the previous verdict before they could do anything. At least is my understanding.
Okay. Semi-spoilers for the very end of this
Yeah,
movie.
right, yeah. Because, no, honestly, I mean... So Nicholas Hoult is a juror for a murder trial, but it turns out he did it.
Yeah. Which is the premise of the movie.
Yes, this is not news.
No, yeah. And then they do go by pretty quickly establishing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the rest of the movie is about sort of the trial playing out.
Yep.
him facing this moral dilemma of what to do, and then other people slowly sort of realizing that there is more to the case and to him,
Right.
than they initially believed.
Essentially, it's like the trial itself is pretty quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah.
Maybe 20 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, who knows how long any of it takes? We have no concept of how much time passes in this movie.
I meant in our time watching it.
Okay, gotcha.
About 20 minutes of the movie itself is the trial itself. And then it becomes 12 Angry Men.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, exactly. It is exactly that. It just, the holdout
the twist,
character also just happens to be the person who committed the crime.
Right, yeah. Which is a fantastic concept for a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the best, in my opinion, arc of Tom King's run on Batman is the 3-issue...
well, because it was only 3 issues.
It's an only 3-issue storyline with Lee Weeks where Bruce Wayne sits on the jury for Mr. Freeze, like Mr. Freeze's trial. It's like in the immediate aftermath of Catwoman calling off their engagement and leaving him at the altar, and he like basically like knows that he was excessive with Mr. Freeze, and so like he sort of rigs it so that he can sit on the jury for this trial and you know, basically make sure that he didn't do the wrong thing or does the right thing. I don't remember exactly how it ends, but it kind of doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, it is a great premise. And I read in the IMDb trivia that it's lifted from an episode of an old TV show.
Law and Order?
No, not a Law and Order, like a show from the 60s or something, where a juror is the person who actually committed the crime.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Yeah. It's an interesting premise.
Yeah. It's all in the execution.
It's flawed. It's also kind of a flawed premise.
Well, of course.
This is a high profile case, and what's his name? What's Nicholas Holt's character's name?
Justin.
That's right. Justin, like justice.
Yes, Justin Kemp.
Justin Kemp. Yeah, he thinks basically the night this murder happened, the death of the victim happened a year ago. He thinks that he remembers hitting something with his car, but he's not quite sure what.
Right.
And then so like if he has that doubt already about what happened and where it happened, and then there's this high profile case that comes out, wouldn't he have put the pieces together
before sitting in the jury?
Before day one of the fucking trial? Like, but he says that he hadn't heard anything about it, but apparently this case is so high profile that it will decide the district attorney election.
Hey, I mean, I'm on his side. Sometimes you just shut yourself off to news.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For a year?
Well, sure, why not?
I mean, I definitely did for a month or two there between, November and early January.
Listen, I don't know anything that's going on in Dayton.
Yeah.
Except for, of course, the rounding up of quote-unquote illegals.
Right, of course. Yeah. Really, there's not much more to know.
Yeah.
That's pretty big all by itself.
That is pretty big. But, as far as, like, just jury trials going, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to who's on trial in Dayton, Ohio at the moment. So
I mean, I'm just saying if he's a writer for some sort of outlet. Who knows what the outlet is.
Right.
But
it's a regional lifestyle magazine.
There you go. Okay.
That's what he says.
That is what he says. You're right. But you would think he would have some awareness.
Oh, okay. This is fair.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
Oh, man. But then, okay, so the prosecution's case is completely circumstantial.
Right.
There's no real concrete physical evidence of the defendant committing this crime.
Right.
But then the defense doesn't really put on much of a defense.
Yeah, not really.
Like, they poke some holes, but yeah, I wanted to see. Here's what I wanted to see.
Okay.
So the prosecutor questions the eyewitness, and then after that, the judge recesses, and they're gonna reconvene the next day. I wanted to hear cross-examination of the fucking eyewitness.
Right.
Because the eyewitness is terrible.
Yeah.
The eyewitness didn't see a goddamn thing.
No. Yeah.
They saw a person get out of their car.
In a rainstorm.
From
across the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's flimsy.
Yeah. Like, the defense that we know of offered no alternate theory of the crime.
Right.
The jurors are left to come up with that themselves in the jury room. Which J.K. Simmons is more than happy to do.
Sure. Let's just talk about J.K. Simmons for a moment, please.
Okay.
He's fucking great.
He is wonderful.
And the fact that he gets removed from this movie so early is to this movie's detriment.
Agreed. Yeah.
He, the scene after he gets dismissed, and he is talking to Toni Collette with her terrible fucking accent.
We need to devote some time to the accent work.
Well, let's put a pin on that.
Faith Killebrew, attorney at law.
The look in his eye, nearly drove me to tears.
Yeah,
like he is fantastic, and just ultimately what a waste of him.
It really was. Like, I thought it was going to end up being a thing where, once he starts looking into it on his own, he was going to sort of become Nicholas Holt's foil for the rest of the movie.
It's what I was really hoping for.
Yeah. But no, in that instance, they decided to actually stick with legal procedure and say, no, you're not allowed to do that.
Right. Putting that aside,
yes,
I still thought, okay, well, he's still going to try to look into shit.
Of course, he's calling in favors.
Yeah, he's got the resources.
Yeah.
He's a retired cop.
Yeah.
I thought he'd still be on the case and show up at some point anyway.
Retired cops, as I believe, frequently become court investigators.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could have continued to Toni Collette could have called him to be like, hey, can you continue to look into this?
Right. There's even the scene where after one session in the jury, Nicholas Holt calls somebody and says, hey, can we meet?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
It just turns out to be fucking Kiefer Sutherland.
So about Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
I don't know. So Nicholas Holt's character is an alcoholic.
Yes.
And Kiefer Sutherland's character sort of runs the AA meetings.
I believe it's his sponsor.
Is that his sponsor? Okay.
Yeah.
They don't come right out and say that. Yeah. But he is also an attorney.
Yes.
And earlier in the movie, Chris Messina and Toni Collette are talking about this professor that they had when they were in school. And I would have bet money that professor was going to end up being Kiefer Sutherland, who then faced his own moral dilemma of knowing the truth but not being able to break attorney-client privilege.
Sure. I feel like that would have muddied the waters a little bit more than...
They're already pretty fucking muddy.
They're already pretty fucking muddy, and I feel like it didn't need that extra ingredient.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it also maybe didn't need Kiefer Sutherland in this movie.
Kind of not. Yeah.
Like I get why he's there, and I get the scenes with him in it. Because Nicholas Holt has to tell somebody.
Yeah.
He has to have a sounding board, but I don't know. It just felt extraneous.
Yeah. Also, bro, talk to your wife.
Sure, there's that too.
They have a bad marriage.
Yeah, it's not great. I also found it very funny that Kiefer Sutherland, notorious alcoholic, was playing the sponsor.
Yeah, maybe he's turning it around.
I'm not sure if he is or not.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ironical.
Yeah, whatever. It's movies. It's magical.
The magic of cinema. So yeah, this movie is directed by Clint Eastwood.
Yes, it is.
Famous
our second Clint.
Famous talker of chairs.
Sure.
This is our second Clint. I forgot all about Firefox.
Yep.
The browser with wings.
He was browsing through the sky, wasn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man. I read that this may be Clint Eastwood's last movie.
The man is 93 years old.
Yeah.
If not older now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's just not dead.
Wasn't that Vin Diesel movie Find Me Guilty?
Yeah.
Was that that director's final movie too? I feel like that was some legendary director.
Sidney Lumet?
Was it Sidney Lumet?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe just legendary directors go out on weird courtroom dramas. I've toyed with picking Find Me Guilty for the podcast.
I wouldn't say no.
Okay, good to know.
I thought of that movie while we were watching this one.
I thought of The Verdict, the Paul Newman movie.
I've never seen that.
That's a great movie.
All right.
I also thought of Presumed Innocent.
I have seen that.
That's also a great movie.
Saw that in the theater with my mom.
Nice. I remember watching that at home. I think my parents got it from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just I will never forget the twist of that movie.
Yep. Also, I mean, I don't know how old you were, but I can probably say I was probably too young to be watching that movie.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, weird, like, erotic courtroom drama.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like this movie reminds me of just, like, John Grisham dramas or, like, just movies that they made in the 90s.
Sure.
That they don't really... That don't get made as often anymore.
They very rarely exist nowadays.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that aspect of it.
Definitely.
That this is not something that you see much of anymore.
Yeah.
Not that I'm watching a ton of legal dramas, in my free time. But,
Sure.
It's nice to have the option.
Yeah, definitely. And it does also sort of become like there comes a point where like we're learning stuff about the jurors as the deliberations are taking place.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there's at least one revelation about every juror throughout the deliberations, and I kept waiting for Leslie Bibb's revelation. And we learn nothing about her.
No, there's a handful that we don't learn about, but those handfuls we don't learn about are just kind of day player, unnamed actors.
Well, so let's go through the jurors.
You've given them numbers. I know that.
I gave juror number 10 a number because I could see on her little badge it said 10. That's why it did that. Okay, so we got Nicholas Hoult, killer.
Sure.
Then juror number 2.
Titular juror number 2.
The titular. We got Leslie Bibb, who we know nothing about.
Right, she's the forewoman.
She's the forewoman, and then let's go around the table counterclockwise from her.
Well, let's talk about Leslie Bibb for a second.
Yes.
Apparently, we do know that she's been on a lot of juries.
Oh, okay, you're right. My mistake.
And she loves being the forewoman.
Is that her thing? She does take it very seriously.
She does.
She talks about going home and telling her husband that once again she did nothing that day.
Yep. And also we learn during the selection portion that she's a mother of 3.
Okay. I missed that part about her as well.
Hardest job in the world.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's what we know about her.
That's what we know about her.
All
Okay. The bald guy
Yep.
is a divorced father.
Yep. Who does not see his daughter
Does
that
not
often.
see his daughter that often.
Yep.
The guy next to him.
That's the old lady.
Oh, that is the old lady. That's right. She's a sassy old broad.
Yep. That's what we know about her. And 20/20 vision.
And 20/20 vision with these specs on. And then the guy next to her, fucking stoner.
Yep.
Then we got Nicholas Holt.
Sure,
So
yep.
we're at 5.
Yep.
Juror number 6 is a bus driver.
Well,
we'll come back to juror number 13.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, originally the guy sitting next to Nicholas Holt was the guy who spills coffee on.
Oh, that's right.
And then he moves to the other side of the table.
Which makes sense because he
Yeah.
got coffee spilled in his lap.
Right.
That's what we know about that guy.
Yep. That is what we know about that guy. That is all we know about that guy.
All right. So where was I? Was I at
6 bus driver.
6 is a bus driver. And a sassy black woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe she also has kids at home.
She does have kids at home,
Yeah.
yes. Number 7 is J.K. Simmons,
Yep.
retired police officer.
Who now runs a flower store with his wife.
Life rose on. What the fuck is that name? I understand it's supposed to be a pun on Life Goes On,
Yep.
but it doesn't work.
No, it's not good.
Life grows on,
There you go.
JK and wife.
Just kidding.
Yes. When Katie and I go to trivia and it's just the two of us, our team name is Just Kidding. Because it's JK.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah, it is.
The guy next to him is that
He's the sketch guy.
that's right, the guy who's just an amazing artist.
Sure.
Who apparently has just been drawing throughout the whole trial.
Which-
and draws a scale drawing of the murder scene on the whiteboard inexplicably.
But he also draws a key piece that unlocks the next juror.
The next juror, who is
Yeah.
King of Queens' best friend.
Cedric Yarborough.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, he's on Reno 911.
Okay.
He was in Black Dynamite.
Oh, wow, okay. I primarily recognize him from King of Queens.
That's unfortunate.
I know. But he runs the youth center.
Yeah, he does. And in Black Dynamite, he's a pimp and a drug pusher.
Amazing.
And Black Dynamite confronts him and says, "You got to stop selling drugs in the community." And he says, "But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community." Which is why I said that out loud.
Gotcha.
He said
Okay.
he runs the community center.
Amazing. Layers that I didn't catch.
Yep. Highly recommend Black Dynamite.
It's been a while since I've seen that. And then next to him, juror number 10.
Well,
is...
let's go back to Cedric Yarborough.
Sure,
there.
sorry, okay.
His brother was a gang member.
Yeah,
and-
when he was 11? 14.
Well, he got inked when he was 14.
That's right, my mistake.
Yes.
Is that the stiffest dialogue
Yeah, it's not great.
that you've ever heard? It might be the stiffest dialogue I've ever heard. I've heard some pretty stiff dialogue.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I don't think this movie understands black people.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
That maybe Clint Eastwood himself might not have a full understanding of African Americans in general.
It could be. Oh boy. Yeah. His his little brother was 14 when he got inked.
Yeah. And then shot.
And then was dead within 3 years.
Yep.
So he is coming in with a prejudice against the defendant based on a tattoo that the defendant has.
Yep.
That he should really have disclosed that during voir dire.
I mean, had he seen the tattoo by that point?
I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd say everyone on this jury has some problems that might preclude them from being on this jury.
Yeah.
Who was after him?
I believe that is juror number 10.
Our
med student.
Med student, yes.
Yeah, who also comes in with crucial information about how the victim died.
Yep.
I don't know where she got that information, because the medical examiner's testimony is really just, there's nothing to it.
No. Yeah. Apparently he's a tired guy.
Apparently.
Yeah.
He did 5 autopsies that day.
Yep. I don't.
And he was this close to retirement.
Yeah, I don't know if 5 autopsies is a lot.
I have no idea.
Is it not enough? Is he not up to quota?
Yeah.
I mean, also seems like a lot of people are dying in that particular part of Georgia
It does. Yeah.
on that particular day.
Was there paint on the corpse from the car?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like typically there's, something.
I mean, would it have washed off in the rain?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it have scraped off on the rocks?
Maybe. Oh, man. So that's 10.
Yeah.
Number 11 is the guy that you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then who is 12? I can't think of 12. Where's 12 hiding?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, 12 is juror number 13.
12 is the viewer. We are the 12th juror. And then...
And I'm angry about it.
I am furious and fast. But then, after J.K. Simmons is excused, juror number 13 takes his place, and she is a true crime junkie.
Yep. Look, all overweight, middle-aged women,
Aw.
according to Clint Eastwood.
Right, of course. Yeah.
This movie is full of stereotypes.
It's full of characters who, as we pointed out, have one defining characteristic about them.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Okay. Accents.
Yes. So, I mean, really, I've only got the one to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like the judge was trying to do one as well.
Maybe. Yeah, a little bit. So, the movie takes place in Georgia.
Yeah.
Almost everybody is just kind of using their regular voice, except obviously Nicholas Hoult, who is British?
Yes.
Australian?
British.
Okay.
And I swear I heard a British accent at one point.
It slips. It
Yeah.
definitely slips. And he's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Toni Collette, who I do believe is Australian.
Yes.
Who can do a really good American accent.
Yeah.
Not a Southern one, though.
No. It's there sometimes.
Yep.
It's not there sometimes.
Yep.
It's too there sometimes. It's rough.
When she first came on screen and opened her mouth, I said, oh no.
I said, or nor. Crikey. Not this. Flawless. As flawless as Toni Collette's Southern accent. I was reminded by the IMDb trivia that Toni Collette and Nicholas Hoult played mother and son in About a Boy.
I saw that as well. I've not
Which
seen
is
that
nice.
movie, but I did see that bit of information.
Yeah.
Yes. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it plays out. It
doesn't play out as expected.
It does not.
Yeah.
Not entirely. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've already spoiled the very, very end.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter.
Yeah.
So basically, the thrust of most of the movie is Nicholas Hoult trying to sort of assuage his own guilt, by because he knows that the defendant did not do this.
Yeah.
Even though he does not seem like a great guy.
Yeah.
But so he is trying to be the lone holdout, to convince everybody to vote guilty. Or
Yeah.
not guilty.
Not guilty. Yeah. Yeah, he's in an interesting position because, well, I think it's kind of interesting because it's like he wants people to recognize the reasonable doubt,
Right.
that, you know, or recognize that the prosecution has not fully made its case,
Right.
But he
That
doesn't.
The police have not done their job.
Yeah. But he doesn't want anybody to think that hard about it.
Yeah.
Because if they do, they might point the finger at him.
Right.
And that's the other thing he doesn't want.
I feel like he did get just a bit too defensive at times.
Yeah.
But also apparently not for anyone to actually cast any suspicion upon him. Even the ridiculous fucking conclusion that Toni Collette comes up to
Yeah. So
when she realizes it.
yeah, I would argue that that no one suspects him because it's fucking ludicrous. It is beyond belief. What are the odds?
Right? I mean, yeah. True.
Yeah.
But they even, from the get-go, set up Cedric Yarborough to be suspicious of him.
Yeah.
And yet it ultimately plays out that, like, he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He just wants to see the guy convicted.
Yeah.
But then... So ultimately they do a tour of the crime scene, which I guess is supposed to help them. It makes no sense.
They were I mean, the jurors were grasping at straws at that point because they
Right.
were deadlocked.
Yeah, so
but
it's
it
either
was
going to be a hung jury or conviction.
Yeah.
Cedric confronts him at the actual crime scene, but it just he just says, "I'm not going to change my mind."
Yeah.
The guy's guilty.
Yeah. Like he sort of accuses him a little bit of something.
Right. Yeah.
Of just like manipulating the other jurors, but yeah, never like, I think you did this.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would be ridiculous.
Sure. And so then, the end of the trial, they find the defendant guilty.
Yeah.
And so everybody who wanted him guilty gets their way.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kiefer Sutherland basically just tells him, this is not going to go away
Right.
without there being some sort of verdict.
Right.
And then Cedric Yarborough is like, it's never going to be not guilty.
Yeah.
Even though that is the correct verdict.
Right.
So, yeah. So he ends up relenting and just saying guilty with everyone else.
So he shows up at the courthouse on the day of sentencing because he feels guilty.
Yeah.
It's never fully flat out stated, but like his wife knows, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's figured it out.
She suspects, if nothing else,
Right.
that something is amiss. So we skipped over the part where Toni Collette goes to his house.
Yes.
Because apparently the car, she's following up on J.K. Simmons's investigation of cars that had body work done.
Yeah.
On the theory, basically, that it was a hit and run and not a murder.
Right.
And I guess the car is in his wife's name, so she doesn't put that together. The DA doesn't. So she goes and talks to the wife and questions her about it, and she repeats the story that Nicholas Hoult has told her, which is a lie.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's like he admits that he lied to her about where he was, but he doesn't like out and out say.
He doesn't say it, but
yeah,
I think at this point she has enough information that she knows.
Yeah, because she's smart. She sees through him.
Yeah,
that's the thing that we learn about her is that she can smell bullshit.
Yep.
Much like Natasha Lyonne in Poker Face.
I miss that show.
I know, me too. I hope so.
I hope so too. So he shows up to the sentencing. Toni Collette, who by this point has, whether she hasn't figured out who actually did it, but she has convinced herself that the defendant is not guilty.
Yeah,
and did not do it.
Yeah.
She sees Nicholas Hoult in the audience and Googles.
So before that, she remembers 2 specific lines of dialogue. This is her Kaiser Soze moment. She remembers Nicholas Holt's wife saying his name.
Yep.
And that he hit a deer in the car.
Yeah.
And then she remembers
Brimstone Road.
On Brimstone Ridge or whatever, yeah. And then she remembers Nicholas Hoult saying that his wife is 3 months pregnant. Or in the 3rd trimester, not 3 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And from there she Googles the wife's name and husband.
Yep.
And it immediately brings up just gorgeous photos of the 2 of them. She drops her coffee mug. It shatters on the ground. The whiteboard is Quartet brand from Skokie, Illinois. The coffee mug is Kobayashi. It all comes together for her in that moment.
And then limping, Nicholas Hoult walks out of the courtroom and slowly turns into a stride. He got away with it.
He sure did. And Pete Postlethwaite was there to pick him up. Oh, God damn it. So yeah, they have a conversation outside of the courthouse.
Yep.
About a hypothetical person. And he basically admits what he has done.
Yep.
Insists that he is a good person, even though a good person would have come forward immediately if they knew what he knows.
Right.
And tries to just dissuade her from pursuing it any further, because it'll ruin her career, it'll ruin his life, his family's life.
Yep.
And the guy's a piece of shit anyway, so just send him away.
Right.
And so Toni Collette is left with the moral dilemma of, do I do what's best for my career or do I do what's best for justice?
Yes, and as Nicholas Hoult walks away, statue of Lady Justice.
Yes.
With her swaying balances.
It was really windy that day. I guess there was supposed to be a storm that day.
Well,
because
sure,
Nicholas Hoult goes to visit what's-her-name's grave, the victim.
Yeah.
And as he's walking away, he passes a gravedigger who's like, looks like the storm's passed. And Nicholas Holt says, yes, sir, it sure did. And it's smooth sailing from here. Until... dun, dun, dun.
It felt like this movie should have ended like 20 minutes earlier than it did.
Yeah. This movie is almost 2 hours long. It's way too long.
Way too long. The ending just really drags out. To no satisfying conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we can assume that Toni Collette is there. Like, the final shot, or final scene of the movie, excuse me, is Nicholas Holt at home with his wife and unnamed newborn child.
Peanut.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. And
Georgia.
There's Rowdy. And there's a knock at the door. Nicholas Holt answers it, and it's Toni Collette. And no words are exchanged between the two of them.
Yep.
Black.
Directed and produced by Clint Eastwood.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. Now I'm overthinking it.
Okay,
like,
go.
she doesn't show up with like police or anything.
No,
it's just her.
Right.
So like, is she there to just be like? Because she could conceivably be there to be like, I'm not going to tell anybody.
Right.
Or like, we need to talk about this further. Also, you're my son from 25 years ago. Or she could be there to be like, we're coming to get you, sucker.
I feel like
it's probably the latter.
part of the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where my mind with it went.
Yeah. There has to be at least one good person in this movie.
Right.
Who is the lead of the movie anyway.
Sure.
And it turns out Toni Collette.
Yeah.
Because Justin Kemp is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's not a great dude.
No.
Cause so early on when he goes to Sutherland to sort of consult with him about the case and confesses, what he did essentially.
Yeah. Or what he thinks he did.
Right.
He also does not have concrete evidence that he is the person that hit her.
Right.
So like, and Toni Collette doesn't have concrete evidence that he's the person that hit her.
No.
She's going to trial with basically the same amount of nothing that she had against the other guy.
Right. Yeah. Like for all of J.K. Simmons's detective work, it's still circumstantial.
Completely. Yeah. And the original bumper from that Forerunner is long gone.
Right. Which I will say this, really good shape for a 1996.
It was, yeah, really nice.
I haven't been able to hold on to a car for more than 5 years at a stretch.
I know, and this one's going around knocking people off of bridges.
Right? And also, it looks like they have money. That's a nice fucking house they live in.
She is a teacher.
Yeah.
And he is a writer for a regional lifestyle magazine.
Yeah.
One of their parents is loaded.
Absolutely.
Or both.
Yep.
I definitely clocked the niceness of the neighborhood they live in.
Yep.
It's wildly disproportionate to their income.
I mean, yeah, I cannot imagine that the cost of living prices in wherever Georgia they're at is that significantly lower than anywhere else.
Right. If anything, depending on its proximity to like Atlanta or whatever,
right,
they could be much higher.
And I would imagine it's probably Atlanta because the only person in that town that has any kind of southern drawl is Toni Collette.
Right. It's true. It's a good point.
They're a little more civilized.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
I've been to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nary a southern accent to be found.
Oh boy.
I don't know, but did you like it?
I enjoyed watching it. It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But it's very watchable.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly okay.
It made me laugh a few times.
It is definitely unintentionally funny. I mean, just the fucking Google moment alone
That was amazing.
is enough to trash this movie into the dustbin forever.
Yeah.
And it like, I know he didn't write this movie, but that just truly felt like what a 94-year-old man thinks the internet is like.
Right. Oh, shit.
In between his go,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Because he won't say action
Sure.
or cut.
Sure. It's funny, I was listening to interview with Ben Stiller and Adam Scott today. They were on Mike Birbiglia's podcast. They were talking about Severance, but they were talking about how
Ben Stiller have to do with Severance?
Ben Stiller is an executive producer
okay.
and directed like half of the first season.
Oh, okay.
And a whole bunch of it, yeah. So,
All right.
but yeah, they were talking about, you know, directors who say action and cut versus, you know, go or start, begin. I did not realize that Clint Eastwood did not say action and cut.
Oh, yeah, because back in the day when he was, you know, starting out in making movies and TV shows, that if you would say action or cut, it would scare the horses.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh, man, that's awesome. I don't remember them going over that in the spiel in Nope. Don't make eye contact. Don't stand too close. Don't say action or cut.
Or at least don't yell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Action.
I also think I heard a rumor that there were a couple scenes where Clint Eastwood was just like munching on Cheetos in the middle of scenes.
Just totally checked out.
Yeah.
Amazing. Holy shit. Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a fine movie.
It goes down easy. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I mean, I guess this movie came out in theaters. I don't even know anymore.
I think it was a very, very limited theatrical release.
Yeah.
Before it was more or less just straight to Max.
Yeah. But you know, going back to it being a very lost kind of 90s movie, I feel like this movie would have made like hundreds of $1 million in the 90s.
100%, and it would run on TNT.
Yep.
On Saturday afternoon
Absolutely.
for decades.
Yep. It's a real dad movie.
It absolutely is.
We're not dads, so fuck it.
I like dad movies.
I like some dad movies.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's, like I said, it goes down easy.
Yeah, I mean...
Nicholas Hoult is great.
He is great, yeah.
Toni Collette's great, aside from the accent.
Yeah.
Chris Messina's great.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard the name before. I don't know what I've ever seen him in.
Okay.
But like I said, he just seemed really familiar.
Yeah.
A lot of people in this movie seemed really familiar. I just could not place them.
Yeah.
Like the guy who played the defendant. Like, I was like, who is that? And I looked up his name. I was like, I have never heard of this person.
Well, he's a murderer.
Well, fair.
Or not. No, he's not. Shit. I missed the point of the movie. Just because he's found guilty doesn't mean he did it. Call the Innocence Project. There is serious grounds for appeal on the basis of incompetent counsel.
Yeah.
Based on the nothing defense that was put on for him. I also know that in some jurisdictions, I would assume they probably looked into this and it's not applicable to Georgia. But if you plead not guilty, you have to present an alternate theory of the crime.
Okay.
And yeah, there's just absolutely no alternate theory presented.
Nope. Just I didn't do it.
Maybe she slipped. I don't know.
Right. I mean, they kind of bring that up a little bit. The fact that she was wearing high heels.
Yeah.
And, several other, vague theories, but nothing.
She was drunk. She was asking for it. It was her fault.
Right, yeah.
They didn't say she was asking for it. But the implication is that it was her own fault.
Sure, yeah. Heavily implied that it's her own fault.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It is fine.
Yeah. I'm not upset we watched this.
No?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad.
Are you?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. No. You were absolutely right. This was completely in my wheelhouse. I really enjoyed watching it. About halfway through, I said that I couldn't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed this conversation.
I have as well.
Excellent.
As I enjoy most of our conversations.
Most of them.
Like 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid 75.
Oh.
What's making you happy this week, sir?
Oh, Christ. The Trump guy that confronted me at my workplace the other day.
That is pretty great.
Oh boy.
You've had a rough one.
Huh?
You've had a rough one.
Yeah, it's not been great. Toys? Toys. Yeah.
Toys are nice.
Toys are nice. I went out and so did we even talk about this a couple episodes ago about the Batman Forever?
Oh, the retro figures?
Yeah, the retro figures.
I feel like we mentioned it.
Yeah.
I feel like it came up.
Maybe that was the thing that was bringing you joy.
I think it was because I found the whole wave all at once.
That's right.
Yes.
So I went out looking for the Two-Face one, which is the one that I'm really interested in, and could not find it at the Target that I went to. In fact, there was jack shit at that Target.
Yeah. Which Target was that?
It was the one in Huber Heights.
Oh, okay.
Like the entire toy aisle was empty, as if it was like the day after Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And they've just never restocked.
That sucks.
They did have Batman and the Riddler, but nothing else.
Okay.
And they didn't have any of the McFarlane figures, no Marvel figures. Just nothing.
Yeah.
So then, like a day later, I went to the one in Kettering, Centerville, where they picked up a whole bunch of ice. Was on force yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. And they didn't have any of the retro figures, but they did have a couple of the new McFarlane Gold Label figures. And I bought Orion.
Yes.
Which is a pretty cool figure. I like that character. Although I will say, it's cool looking. I kind of like the old Mattel one a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. DC Classics or Universe or whatever the
hell
that one was.
DC Universe Classics.
Yeah.
That one was great.
Yeah. And then I think that night you sent me a picture that you found Two-Face.
Yeah. I think it was the day before because I actually found Two-Face at that same Target.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they had clearly just put a case out because they had all of them.
You must have got the last one then.
I must have.
And then you also texted me the new wave of Superpowers figures that was out.
Yes.
Available for order, featuring Jason Todd Robin, which when I open it will just be regular Robin.
Sure.
Jake Eric Flash, Lobo, and someone
The Atom.
The Atom, yes. which means now I'll have to find the 7-inch Atom so that I have...
You know, what you really need is like a teeny tiny little Atom figure to go with it.
I think the 7-inch one comes with a teeny tiny one.
Oh, does it? Nice.
So then it'll be 3 sizes.
Whoa. Amazing.
Smart.
Yeah. You're crushing it. That came out way meaner than I meant it to.
No, it was just the right amount of mean.
Oh, man.
So I've just been reveling in toys the
Hell
last
yeah.
Couple days, and that is all I got.
Toys are awesome. You know what? Toys are my happy thing.
Toys R Us.
Very frequently. Toys R Us, yes. But only in Canada.
No.
And at select Macy's.
Well, I'm not going to a Macy's.
Hell no. I don't think they even have Superpowers figures there.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
So it's come up early in the episode, my love of Law and Order.
Sure.
I discovered yesterday that all 20 seasons of the original run of Law and Order are on Hulu now.
Oh, nice.
I signed up for Peacock a couple years ago, almost exclusively so that I could watch all of Law and Order, and was saddened to learn that it only had season 13 on.
Oh.
So,
What the hell?
I know, it's very strange. And they don't have all the Dateline. They don't have...
Well, there's too many Datelines.
Give me all of them. I want all of it. Sorry, I just got real mad for a second.
Yeah, you did.
I want all of it. But, yeah, so all 20 seasons of Law and Order, the original Law and Order pre-reboot,
Nice.
are available on Hulu, which is very exciting.
Yeah. So, Michael Moriarty.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, first 4 seasons. George Zunza.
I don't know who that is.
He was the voice of Perry White on Superman the Animated Series.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just remembered something.
What?
The fucking movie.
Yes.
The fucking goddamn movie has absolutely a Law and Order connection. J.K. goddamn
fuck J.K.
Simmons.
Simmons, yeah. Oh, I totally forgot. I was trying to think of it too. Like when we were talking about it earlier, and I just completely spaced. That's hilarious. Of course, he played a psychologist on Law and Order.
But still,
That's
in
awesome.
a lot of episodes.
That's excellent.
And of course, then he went on to The Closer,
Obviously.
which is a good show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
Was he also on Major Crimes?
I don't know. I think maybe he moved on by that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Law and Order.
Yeah.
Police procedurals.
Lenny Briscoe.
I mean, ACAB, but the fake ones are fine.
Yeah. I feel like that's what we good Americans have all resigned ourselves to.
Basically, yes.
And yeah, I said it. Good Americans.
Right? Yeah. Oh, man.
Do you have a movie in mind for next week?
I do. I'm not sure you're going to like it.
Oh, God.
I think it's come up in conversation a few times.
All right.
I feel like we have to.
All right.
We have to watch Madam Web.
Why do we have to?
We have to.
We don't have to.
We have to for the people. We have to know. We have to experience it ourselves.
We don't.
Yes,
We really don't.
we do. Yes, we do. Eric, please. We have to watch Madam Web.
Give me a... Let me put you on trial here. Give me a solid defense of why we should be watching Madam Web.
We watched Morbius, for God's sake.
For fun.
I know. Will this not also be fun?
You were in mourning. Jason was here. We had an okay time.
We can see if Jason could come.
You know he won't.
I know. You're right, I was in a very low place when we watched Morbius. I feel this need. I need more Adam Scott content, and I know he's in it.
Oh,
I feel like we should.
But why? I have never argued this hard against a movie.
I know. I can't believe this. Wouldn't it be fun?
No,
Wouldn't it be fun to watch?
I cannot imagine. Oh, God. Fine, I guess we're watching goddamn Madam Web.
Fuck yeah, we are.
God damn it.
Thwip thwip, motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm done. Take us out.
All right, well, Madam Web next week. And until then, keep living your life a quarter mile at a time and don't drive distracted. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at our websites view.guttertrash.net or on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit our website at view.guttertrash.net for information about our Twitter and Instagram. Once again, thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. We'll see you next time.